This is the 2026 Acura RDX A-Spec Advance, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you about the advantages that it offers. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Acura today in Shreveport, Louisiana. That means if you come in to this dealership and buy a new vehicle, this only applies to new vehicles, and mention that you watch my video on the vehicle you're driving and get $500 off. It's the Vehicle Visionary discount. Take advantage of that at Acura. If you want to know more about this RDX, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color is platinum white. It has a red interior, and you'll find full LED lighting, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED turn signal indicators. There are also LED fog lights down here on the lower portion of the front end. A lot of sensors, a lot of great safety features, and all-wheel drive. That's going to be very beneficial for those of you that need all-wheel drive. Some people just want it, but there are people out there who need it, that deal with a lot of low traction situations throughout the year with snow and ice and different things like that. 20-inch wheels is what we're going to have here. The A-Spec logo and turn signal indicators built into the heated, power adjustable side view mirrors. Now, you do have blind spot monitoring, but it's not built into the side view mirror. It's right here. That's your blind spot indicator for those of you who may not be familiar with this particular model. By the way, there are no changes for 2026. Remote start, that's engine hold right there. You'll find lock, unlock, and you can open and close the power tailgate. You'll also find your panic button right there. And right here, this button, if you hold that down, you can get a key out of the remote itself, the key fob. And if you need to, you can lock and unlock the interior manually, kind of an old-fashioned way. Do I need to do a tutorial for anybody to show you how that works? I hope not. Yes, I'm being a little sarcastic about that. It's okay to laugh. We will find a panoramic sunroof, LED taillights, another A-Spec logo, the RDX logo, obviously all-wheel drive, and something that balances things out quite nicely back here on the rear is the dual exhaust. Under the hood is the 2-liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes 272 horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. And here is one of those big advantages. You might expect the transmission to be a CVT. Guess what? It's not. It's a 10-speed automatic. That should make a lot of people very happy. It seems very few people are a fan of the CVT or continuously variable transmission. How about your MPGs? We're looking at 21 city, 26 highway, 23 combined, and 4.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Your gas tank size comes in at 17.1 gallons. Those MPGs, by the way, they're estimated, their potential. You might have better numbers than that. You might be a little bit below that. Some of you can probably tell us down in the comments section about what your real life experience has been with your RDX. Now, same thing applies to how far you can drive on a single tank of gas. If you have a full tank of gas, we're looking at 359 miles potentially in the city and 462 miles out on the highway. You can tow as much as 1,500 pounds. To gain access to your 28.5 to 58.9 cubic feet, there are a few different options. You can kick your foot under the rear bumper just like that. That will open the tailgate. There's a button on the tailgate itself, a button on the remote, and a button in the driver's area. To lower your seat backs, all you have to do is pull on this release. That will allow the seats to fold flat like that, and you're good to go. A little bit of storage space underneath the floor right here if you need to take advantage of that. There's also going to be a panoramic sunroof, as we talked about earlier. There's how it looks. The front portion will tilt and slide open. You will also find a 12-volt power outlet back here and a little bit of storage space on the side right there below that 12-volt. And here's our first look at the red interior. You can find a nice large armrest and door bin for your rear seat passengers. We're going to have the rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, air conditioning vents, and USB connectivity. These buttons will control the heated outboard seats and the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. There is a lot of space back here for your rear seat passengers. They will be nice and comfortable. And here's the view of the panoramic sunroof from this vantage point. The sticker price is $56,800. Let's see what else you get for that price. Plenty of room with, again, the armrest and the door bin for your driver and passengers. You will find lumbar support for your passenger, and you can raise and lower the seat. Some of you might not have been expecting that here with the RDX, but it is here. Power adjustable seats that are heated and ventilated. Gonna have the pass-through right here with a little more connectivity. There's a USB for the passenger and a 12-volt power outlet right there. We're gonna also have our glove box, plenty of space within that area, and our cup holders. There's the wireless charging pad, and we'll reach over here and start the engine. Get everything up and running. We'll take a look at our upper console. We have our lights right here, sunglass holder. Here's how we're going to manage the shade for our sunroof. Power shade, there it is, drawn forward, and it is a sunroof that does open. Like I said, you can tilt and slide that open. Over here on the driver's side door, we're going to have seat memory. Now, there's one thing I would like to see on the passenger side. At this price point, I think that should be the case. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. And one thing I didn't talk about earlier, another advantage here, power folding side view mirrors. So if you want to take advantage of that, there is the button right there. You can adjust your power mirrors there. Door locks, you can lock and unlock the windows, and obviously you can roll your windows down and back up. Here are some of your other features here as far as traction control and different things along those lines. There's your power parking brake. I know a lot of you like to know where that is. You drop the lever right here to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Steering wheel mounted controls, shifter paddles to work your way back and forth, gearing up and gearing down through your 10-speed automatic transmission if you wish to do that. And here is the instrument cluster. Now you're going to have a combination of digital and analog gauges if you want that. Now you don't have to have that digital speedometer there in the center. So for those of you that don't want that, now you can change what you ultimately see. You can go through a lot of different information. I'm just using the scroll wheel right here to do that. You even have your compass. A lot of people like to have that compass built in. So depending on who you are and what your preferences are where that's concerned, well, you can do that. There's your button for your heated steering wheel if you wish to take advantage of that. Volume control. Everything you need is here. It's very nice and easy to figure out. Voice commands, quite a few different things going on. Everything for your front and rear window wipers, your turn signal lever right here, the turn signal stalk. Here's where you're going to control your fog lights, and you can just set your headlights and taillights to auto if you want to, off. You can turn those on. Whatever you need to do, you can do that. I just like to leave that set to auto. Now right here on the end of the lever that you control your windshield wipers with, if you push that, then you get your camera views. Now I like that. Now this is not a touch screen, but there is an advantage to that we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But here is what we have as far as our different views go. Depending on what you need to see and where you need to see, you can choose that particular view. You've got the overhead view, and then we come right here and hit the home button to go home. You've got back right there. You can adjust different things. Now when you're working around with the touchpad right here, the trackpad, if you want to go in and select navigation, you will push down on that trackpad to do that. Now, what is an advantage to this? I know a lot of people say, "Pat, I really want a touch screen." But here's the thing. Let's say you need to make a phone call and you're driving. You can just glance at the screen. We're going to go over here. In my case, I have Apple CarPlay, and then all I have to do is work my way up and go over here, and then I can just push down on the trackpad, make my phone call, and I'm good to go. Sometimes when you're driving, you might accidentally call someone you didn't mean to. So there are some advantages to that. I know a lot of people really want their touch screen, but you know what? At the end of the day, there's some advantages to having this setup, or both. That's one thing. A lot of vehicles in this day and age don't have the option of the trackpad or the wheel or whatever you use, depending on the brand of vehicle that you buy, to work your way around on the screen instead of just using the the touch function by itself. It just depends on what your personal preference is. And so there you go with all of that. And if you want to get out of this screen, we're going to hit home one more time, and there we go. We're back where we need to be. You're going to have your Sirius XM radio and quite a few other features here. I'm not going to cover everything that's here, but just so you can see some of it, we can work our way back and forth through everything. pretty simple to deal with. You're just going to come in here and select whatever you need to. If you want to go into settings, we push down on that trackpad, we go down, we can go to connections, we can select Bluetooth. There you go. Just that easy to deal with. And we'll have our control for the radio right there. You can turn it on and off and adjust your volume, go back and forth through whatever you're listening to, stations, or if you have music playing off of your phone, whatever your favorite source is for that. We have our dual zone climate control here in the front seat area. And as I said, you've got your ventilated and heated seats for the driver and passenger. As you can see, we can adjust fan speed, temperature, that's all here. If you're looking for the button to turn off the idle stop or auto stop start, there is where you're going to do that. We also have our push button shifter here. That's another one of those things that people either love or they hate. There's no neutral ground, at least it seems that way. How about your drive mode selector? Dynamic mode is what it says up here, but that's ultimately your drive mode selector. We do have several different modes to choose from. We have normal, comfort, snow. We can go all the way down here to sport mode. We'll find a wireless charging pad right here. Nice to have that. Cup holders. And there is another USB port. It's found within the center console along with additional space. And one more thing, when you go into reverse, obviously you get your cameras that come up again. There's your rear view camera and the overhead view. Okay, here we go on the test drive. More advantages that you're going to find here is a nice comfortable ride quality balanced with good handling. And if you need all-wheel drive, you've got that for your low traction situations out there. I'm sure glad I'm not one of those people who needs that. I could live without all-wheel drive. We rarely get snow and ice where I live, which is a good thing. But for those of you who live in an environment where you do, this is definitely a good option. Enough ride height where that should also help you out in addition to just having all-wheel drive. And you have all of your different drive modes that you can select from depending on what your situation is or your mood or your desires for driving, whatever that may be. Plenty of room here in the front seat, a reasonable amount of room in the back seat area, and a lot of nice high-end materials throughout. A versatile vehicle. You can haul a decent amount of cargo back there, not a ton, but enough to get the job done for a lot of people. And while I know we're still lacking the touchscreen, this is not difficult technology to learn or use. So that's always a good thing as far as that goes. But I know a lot of you are still wanting the touchscreen to make its way to the RDX the same way it came to the MDX in 2025. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the future. And obviously a lot of adjustability built into the driver's seat for people of a multitude of heights. Between the steering wheel and the driver's seat itself, you can adjust everything to where you shouldn't have any trouble at all. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive. You'll be comfortable in the driver's seat and your passengers will be comfortable for long drives, go on a road trip, or just cruising around town and getting stuck in traffic. Depends on where you live on that too. I know a lot of people complain about the traffic where I live in Northwest Louisiana. All they need to do is make a trip to Dallas or Houston or cities of similar sizes, and I don't think they'll complain anymore. But if you live in an area like that and you do deal with those long commutes, situations with sitting in traffic for a long time, guess what? You're still going to be comfortable here. You got these heated and ventilated seats, the front seats. That's going to be a big advantage. Overall, I definitely have to say that the RDX is a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. I'm curious to know, when it comes to buying your next vehicle, whether it's an RDX or something else, what are the top 3 most important boxes you need to check off? And there it is, the 2026 Acura RDX A-Spec Advance and the advantages that it offers. Tell me what you think. I know a lot of you were maybe hoping for a full redesign for the 2026 model year. Obviously that didn't come. We'll have to wait and see what comes for 2027. Tell Acura what you would like to see when that time comes down in the comments section. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Acura for loaning me this RDX for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Please subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.